Welcome to Smittys Diecast and Overhauls. This is my first customization video for the channel, and for this video I've chosen a 90's Hot Wheels Camaro. It's currently red in color. It's quite chipped up. It's one I found at a flea market, probably for 50 cents or $1. First step, as always, when you're going to customize one of these is to drill the pins out. So I grab my trusty drill and begin the process of drilling out the pins. It's a post that goes through the base and into the casting itself. It just has a flange on the top. All you want to do is just drill off the top of the flange. I made an amateur mistake and over drilled the rear of it actually a little bit, went through, but no harm was done. Everything will end up fine. I ended up doing the front just fine. You see, it's taking the mushroom off the top there. Flip it around. You just want to take your time and do it gradually. And eventually, once you get that mushroom off, it just pops right off. You can see all your pieces. So that's the base. I'm going to leave the wheels attached to this, I think, because it's actually in pretty good shape. The wheels, the chrome on the wheels isn't scuffed. I just think it'll look fine just with those wheels back on it. That's the casting. Windshield, I won't be touching that other than some soap and water because it's in excellent condition. See there? There's the interior. It's pretty dirty, dusty. That'll be getting some customization as well. So to start, we will set the interior windshield on the base side and give it a quick sand just with a gritty sandpaper just to scuff up the paint on the casting so that when you put it in this here premium super remover, it will come off much easier. Drop it in the jar, give it a shake for good luck, mostly to make sure it's covered. And it takes a little while for it to eat it off. I'll stop getting that to focus. I'll just set that aside. And we'll move on to the next part. And just take all of our base and interior and windshield pieces off to some soap and water. And here they are back from the soap and water through the magic of YouTube. Nice and clean. So I can put some layers of paint on it. Notice there's a little speck in the back of that interior from where I punched through, but you won't be able to see that, so no problem. Glass is really clean, clear, it'll be good. Most of the rust and oxidation came off the inside of that base. Was going to be perfect to use. And while I was cleaning up all of those other pieces, paint was fermenting in the stripper. And now it's time to take it out, try and drip some of the excess off in there, because I reuse that over and over and over again until it won't strip anymore. Just grab a stiff little paintbrush, try and move it a little closer for you there, And as you can see, it just flecks right off. Just picked up this paint stripper, Canadian Tire, regular old stuff. Works fine. Probably want to use a mask when you use it though. Maybe in a ventilated area. Just use your stiff brush to try and get as much off as you can. Inside, outside, as many of the crevices. Once you're satisfied with what you have, you can take that off and give it a wash. Clean all the paint and stripper off, and then it's time to give it a buff. This is a knockoff Dremel, just a rotary tool. Another Canadian Tire special. I'm just using a wire brush tip to buff off any oxidation and excess paint left over that the stripper didn't remove. And then I switch pieces over to the smaller nose one to get some of the finer details, some of the body lines in the door there, in the hood. And that's also really good. Getting the paint off the inside as well. Once you're satisfied with that, I'll grab my pick, and again, I'm just going along a lot of the body lines and in crevices to make sure that every little speck of paint is out of there. And sometimes you just carve out the body lines a little bit extra just to make them a little bit more defined when you're going to put layers of paint on it. After that, give her another wash, make sure it's good and dry and there's nothing on it. And gets hit with a coat of primer. That's the interior, there's the body. And then both pieces get hit with 2 coats of gloss white paint. And then move on to detail. So I don't want the entire interior to be white. I want there to be a little bit more detail in there. So we're going to put some blue leather accents on the seats and on the door panels. Is the plan. So it's quite meticulous work. It's fun, but difficult. And I'll honestly say it is far more difficult to do on camera. My setup is quite rudimentary right now. I have my phone jerry-rigged up in front of my desk. So it's difficult to do some of the smaller parts on camera. So I do a lot of the detail work off of camera. I put up pictures for you to see them. Just using a very fine tip brush, regular acrylic paint. Plan to clear coat afterwards, so it should all be packed in. So as you can see, it takes quite a while to get the achieved effect that you're trying to go for. So I believe this clip is sped up 2 times. So as I said, I will do the majority of the detail work on the interior off of camera so as to not bore you to death. But I thought I would give you a shot of some of the work that goes into the interior detail work. So you'll see in the pictures following this clip, as well as the piece that you can see that I'm painting, I paint the backs of the seats and the fronts and the sides, put a pattern in there, and I paint the dash right there. You can see with some gauges, there's a shifter, steering wheel. There's a lot of detail going into that. And I go ahead and tape off the casting so that I can do a two-tone. As you can see there, I went with dark blue to match the interior. And then the detail work begins again. It's a labor of love. There's a nice clear-coated shot what the interior looks like from multiple angles. I've already started with the tail lights. I've painted them red. I did that off camera. Change that there a little bit so you can see it. I'm always afraid there's something on my fingers. So I plan to paint the front headlights, inside the front air scoop, turn signals, mirrors. A lot of the work can be done with a very fine tip brush. Some of this very fine work I find easier to do with a toothpick. This was extremely hard to do on camera. We have a small sampling of the work that goes into the small details on the front end. Just dabbing it with the tip of the toothpick. So a very small amount of paint is used at a time. It's going to be difficult to see, I realized afterwards on this clip because of the light. But here I am, again using a toothpick to do, there's a body line that shows a turn signal here on the side. So I painted it amber. You can see that better there off in the distance when I'm painting it than when I try and bring it closer. It'll show up very well. You'll be able to see it later on. It's an excellent detail. So again, moving back to the brush. I paint this back area where the rag top would fold in. It would more than likely be black, so I painted it black. I also decided to paint the front hood openings black as well. Here's your finished product. Clear coated, nice and shiny. Nice gloss white on the bottom, a dark blue on the top. Front turn signals, headlights, air dam is painted black. Rear turn signals and rear tail lights. Quick shot shot of the interior again. Nice and glossy. Windshield. And the base. Base basically untouched other than cleaning it up with some soap and water. Slide the windshield back in. Slide the interior back in. There's more coats of paint, I believe, now than there were before. So it's a little bit tighter of a fit. But it does fit nicely, nice and snug. And you have your base. It doesn't click in the rear because I over drilled it a little bit, but it does click in the front, which is nice. So it'll stay together, but I will be putting a spot of glue on both ends just to be sure that it stays together. Here she is. 90's custom Camaro. Two-tone with details. It's always nice to have a rolling custom. And so a recap. This is what we started with. And this is how it ended out. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you have any comments, drop them down below. Give the video a like. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy. And you can also check me out on Instagram. And see everyone next time.